All right, so today we're going to be talking about song arrangement in the MPC Live 2, and I actually really like it, and it's really simple too. We're just going to jump right into it. So we're going to click on mute first, and I like to click on mute first just to see all the tracks that I have, and I have about 6 tracks in this beat. So I'm going to let you hear the beat real quick, and this is just a loop. So the first thing I would like to do is all about organization when it comes to song arrangement. Let's just solo. So that's the melody, or I could just call it the synth lead. So just type that in, and all I did was go to like this A symbol right here, right above the pencil tool. And then you just go through the tracks. So I'm gonna just do that real quick just to organize everything. So right here is actually the drum track, and as you can see, like, this is a whole expansion. What you want to do when it comes to the expansion packs, we can still leave it on solo. You actually want to go to the pencil tool, and then you want to explode it. So explode it means just to like have individual tracks instead of all in one track. And I'm going to show you why that is important later on. All right, so now what we want to do is click on the mutes. And now you can see all the tracks. And you can also see the muted like expansions. Now, as far as track mutes is self-explanatory. It's like you play one. I can mute the box. I can mute the pad. I can mute the lead. So that's all that does, and I'm gonna show you how intuitive it gets when you make your song. Now that everything is named, we can start having some fun with it. So if you watch any other videos on song arrangement in the MPC, the common thing to do is just copy the sequence over and over. So that's what we're gonna do. So copy the sequence, and then we could just name the second one hook, because the first one we already got that. And then from hook, we could name it verse. So as far as song arrangement goes, like if you're new to songwriting, it goes from intro, hook, verse, and then pre-chorus, and then hook again, and then a bridge with a little part of the verse, and back to the hook, and then an outro. At least that's how I like to look at it. There's no wrong or right. I'm gonna call this verse second part, and I'm gonna show you why. And then I'm gonna have a verse third part. Copy that over, and then I'm gonna also have a hook 2, because hooks are usually 8 bars. So the first 4 is gonna be one way, then the second 4 is gonna be another way. And by 4, I mean the first 4 bar and then the second 4 bar, which equals to 8. You kind of want to switch it up. Then I want to add like a bridge. Typically, you don't always have to have a bridge, but for this one, I kind of hear a bridge for it. And then you have your outro. So now that you have all 9 sequence, like, it didn't matter the order that you wrote it in, because we're going to get to that later. I'm gonna just fix the first one and call this intro. Let's go back to track mutes. So if we're only working on the intro, we could just take out all the drums, and let's just hear it. So that is like a 4-bar loop. Even though we're in 163 BPM, it's just that this is double time. So the 8 is actually 4. What I'm gonna actually do is go to the pencil tool and double the length. And this is where you get creative with the mutes. So I could also record the mutes. So we're just gonna do overdub and play start. So we're gonna bring in that pad on the second part right here. Let's bring in that box. I want to bring in that snare at the end. So now that we just recorded, as you can see, that pad went back to red. Everything went back to red. Let's hear this part of the arrangement. Yeah. Good. I'm telling you, this gets dope, man. Add that Vox. Ooh. Add that snare. So that is all recorded. Now we can scroll over to the hook. Now for the hook, we could just have everything placed. Matter of fact, that's why I like to have 2 parts of the hook, because all you have to do is just add one more thing. And I'm gonna actually add that lead for the second part so I can mute this lead. Yeah. And you can also switch it up from here so you don't have to keep going back and forth. Let's just scroll to the hook 2. And now we don't even have to do anything. So the lead is already unmuted. Let's go to the verse now. With the verse, I kind of just want to take out the pads, the lead, and the Vox for the first part of the verse, which is the first 4 bars. Because the way I like to do my verses, I like to do 12 bars, especially for the genre that I'm in. So that's why I'm splitting it into 3-4 sections. And then the verse second part, all I have to do is add in that Vox, still take out the pad and the lead. I don't want to bring those in just yet. For the third part, what I'm going to do is actually mute the synth lead and the kick. So it should be something like this. I might just even mute the pad. Let's just hear it with the lead. Oh yeah. Ooh. And then we could go to the bridge. So for the bridge, we could even do it like this. We can mute the synth, open hat 2, the snare, and the kick. So let's just hear that. So that could be like a nice bridge part. And then the outro, we could just take out everything and probably just leaving that snare too. So what we're gonna do now is hold down menu, and we're gonna go to the bottom right second square and click it, and you go into song mode. So let's just hit menu so I can show you what I did in that shortcut. If you look at all these like features right here, they all match up with how many pads, because there's 4 in a row and 4 in a column. So anytime you want to like click something from the menu, just hold down menu and do the corresponding. As you can see, this is the second one right here from the bottom right. So menu, boom. Now this is called song mode, and as you can see, it says song right there. So when it comes to song mode, this is where now you lay out your puzzle pieces. That's why we did it like that from the sequence. We could actually take out sequence 2 because sequence 2 wasn't anything. So let's just like clear this. I don't know if everything will fall back in order. If not, that doesn't matter. Well, it just cleared it, so that's fine. You don't have to pay attention to that. Now what we're going to do is press overdub or record. I usually just press overdub. So now we could just click in our intro. We could click in our hook part 2. And we could click in our verse second part, verse third part, hook part 2, bridge, and then probably one of these, like the verse second part, I'm probably just going to do. And then hook part 2, and then the outro. Now you can see your whole song is just like in puzzle blocks. And for other people that been on like other DAWs and you're not kind of used to this kind of arrangement, like trust me, just get used to the idea of this, because honestly, this is how you would do it if you were like in a room with songwriters. Like you would have your puzzle blocks. Like one person would be like, okay, this is going to be the intro, and the other person gonna be like, okay, I got the hook, or the other person gonna be like, I got the verse, and you put those parts together. If you think about it in that way, then the arrangement is gonna be a lot easier. So now we could just play it. So this is the 8-bar intro. Yeah. So it jumps right into the hook, and then you can see it's highlighted the hook part 2 coming next. Verse. Actually, what I want to do is, I just heard it, so I'm gonna actually mute the bass for the first part of the verse, and then we could just go back, menu, song mode, and then let's just play from the hook part 2 going into the verse. And all you gotta do is press play. Don't press play start, because it's gonna start over. Yeah. Like, just play with it, man. And then that bass comes back in. And then that third part. You're just cruising right now. So let's just kind of just skip through. Let's see from the hook part 2 going into the bridge. Let's see how that sounds. So you see how it just jumped right into that? I kind of wanted that to loop again. If you look at where it says 1, then that just means it's going to play that loop once. So instead of like going into over here and just kind of doubling the length, you don't have to do all of that. You can just do it from here. We can make the bridge play twice. And then the outro is just pretty much the beginning. So once you have all of that together, then you could just convert sequence. And this is where we get to the advanced step. So since we didn't use that track 2, we could just put everything on that track 2 and all the mutes are going to be included. So now track 2 is the full song. And we can also see that if we go to the grid view. The whole song is right here, which is pretty cool that you can see the whole song right here. And then we can add extra mutes on top. So that's pretty cool. You can even add that bass. That would probably be cool. So let's just kind of record that. Here we go. Drop back out the bass. Hey. So you can just go through the whole song, adding the rest of the mutes that you hear. So really the advanced thing that you would have done in the beginning, if you like are like great at finger drumming, is that you would just go to the pencil tool and then just double the length. Like maybe 64 bars, you know, you would have that whole loop and you just play along to that. So that's pretty much it for as far as the song arrangement goes. There is another advanced step to this, which is using the effects, and that gets pretty crazy. Like when you can just mess around with it. Yeah, but I'll say that for another video. If you want me to make a video going over the effects, like the automation, then let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and share with your other producer friends that are also on the MPC Live too. Peace.